I'm Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video, I'm talking to my baby boy, my baby girl, Taurus. Hey, Taurus! I hope you're having a wonderful day. The way today's video is going to work is half the video is going to be about Taurus energy and the story behind that, and the other half is going to be energy between a Taurus and another person and the story behind that. This is primarily for sun signs. However, moon and rising are always welcome because all that matters is the message that resonates. So let's get started. Let's check in the energies. I shuffle behind the scenes because I'm a slow shuffler. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Oh, I love this for you. This is so cute. Perfect. You know, you could say it's a coincidence, but there are no coincidences. This is a synchronicity or, in fact, reading tarot. If you never ever need confirmation for yourself, and when you're reading tarot, you'll notice particular cards just seem to logically make sense that they're together. That's how you know you're in the flow of reading tarot correctly and you're choosing the right cards. So Taurus, I have lots of great stuff to say for you. So first, let's talk about the kind of like mindset you want to take on. And you're already there, but it's something you want to keep fostering in order to keep welcoming in good stuff. So wishing well is like that aha moment for you. It's about discovering what you're really passionate about and excited about and what you want, and realizing that the moment you set that intention mixed with that desire, it's basically sending out a large, envelope to the universe saying, yes, please send me this. And it's just a positive saying, like, dream, wish, want, discover what you love, and put it out there unabashedly. This card does pop up to say, step back. Don't worry about how or when it's going to happen. Just understand the universe is listening and understanding. But that sense of connection you have within yourself and understanding what you want in life is a beautiful thing and kind of your jumping off point in manifestation, which is so beautiful. It's a very dreamy state to be in. So congratulations. You have to be pretty free to feel like this. So if you're not quite there yet, get in that mindset. Just think about what you love to do and just focus on it, enjoy doing it, and be in a dreamy aha kind of state. But then this gets extended upon with green adventuring. This essentially says that opportunities are coming your way. A little bit of this is because of just some good fortune, kind of the chaos of the world, good fortune's going your way. Some of this is just out of, this is so sweet. Green adventuring definitely talks about like the universe loving you and you just having like especially with the green associated with the heart chakra. And this is just saying, connect to what you want and put that out there, because those opportunities will present themselves very quickly, which is very exciting. And remember, realizing what you really want can be anything from a career to a hobby to the way you want to be treated to a friend to a romantic partner. It's whatever you want. So consider asking and dreaming and letting it feel like a fantasy book. You know what I mean? It should be very kind of almost fantasy oriented, which is really great and beautiful. So let's look at the story behind that. Which card deck do I want to use? I'll use this one. Okay. Ah! Yes! Yeah! I'm being told pull 5. Oh my goodness. That is... I am so excited for you. This is like 10 out of 10 what you hope to get out of a tarot reading. So this essentially is, I have a lot of just fantastically positive stuff to tell you about, because not only does it talk about the concept of like love and dreams coming true and stuff like that, it's a complement to your emotional state as well as like some things to keep in mind and vibes to embody. It's going to be a very it's going to be a hot Taurus summer, so to speak. That's the best way to put it. So let's start off with the Fool card. The Fool card is so beautiful and really embodies what the wishing well is. This is somebody who's embarking on their journey, and because they believe that everything's going to be okay, then everything's okay. It's like they're attracting that to themselves. Not mindlessly, not they're not dumb. They're just dreamy and have a lot of hope that essentially, gives them an immediate connection to the universe, being like, yep, okay, heard you. Everything's going to work out great for you. Live your life. Hang out with your dog. Pick your flower. Live your life. Live your best life. So it's very free-spirited, but with a positive intention and belief system no matter what. So when stuff pops up, they're kind of like, no worries. I already know it's all going to be okay. So everything feels like fun and an adventure, and again, very silly. 10 of Cups is just an extremely positive omen for general bliss and happiness. Again, this is the main motivator that's giving the energy in the Fool card, but it's the overall energy that's just popping up and going to be embodying you pretty soon as you get into this dreamy kind of let's not worry and think about it too deeply type of mindset, so to speak. This does also pop up when we get some sort of connection to a relationship that's very serious and long-term, especially if you were interested in being with this partner to the point of like marriage or something like that. That is completely possible. If that's what you want to wish, you can get that. That gets double confirmed when we have the 9 of Cups. I love the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is your ultimate wish card. So this is saying that if you keep this just really blissful mindset, enjoy the act of being happy, enjoy the act of being a loving person, embodying love, expressing it, just being in the moment and enjoying those feelings, not overthinking it, believing in the fact that everything's going to be okay. You're in this sort of mindset we talked about. The things that you wish for, you will get. But here's the thing that I love about the 9 of Cups. This is saying that whatever you wish, whatever, you're going to get it 100%. No catch. So be detailed, think about it, get excited. We already talked about those opportunities popping up. So this is like, again, another confirmation that these opportunities are coming your way very quickly. I'm kind of being told very soon, like the next 2 or 3 weeks, which is really interesting. So yay, very exciting. But the King of Cups is kind of like a compliment to your emotional state and something to consider. So this says like you're doing great, you're emotionally balanced, you're in the right place to embody that sense of happiness, because let's be real, to be happy you have to not allow because like there's a lot of tough stuff in the world and it's very easy to be consumed by it and feel for other people or feel for yourself in your own situation. So you kind of have to have this like hybrid of making peace with certain things and giving more focus somewhere else. And that takes a pretty emotionally intelligent person to not shut things out. So this shows that you won't be repressing anything, but be able to overcome it in a very mature kind of being able to see like devil's advocate all the different sides of it in order to process it easier. But this also represents you being able to, with the King of Cups being a great listener, listening to what you really want. Say like, if you could choose, be really honest. Like think about every detail, really dream, really pretend you're living this dream life, this dream partner. Who is it? What is it? And the way you can listen to yourself, especially when we have a water cup scenario, is being incredibly quiet. You can even put your hand over your heart. And I don't want your mind to take precedence. I want your body and your intuition to kick in. So don't say to yourself, oh, I've always dreamed of this. Shh. Don't. I'm sorry, I just shushed you. I just triggered myself. I don't like shushing. Just take a second. It could be quiet for 10, maybe 20 minutes, and wait until you start naturally having your inner self kick in and be like, oh, can I speak? Well, I think back at this time when I was younger, or every time I see people do this, it always makes me the happiest. It might not be your most primary thought, because sometimes our mind gets in the way. And so this is about being attuned to yourself and your emotions. And then the Page of Wands is, again, just like a beautiful, again, a triple confirmation. I love confirmations in tarot because it makes us absolutely certain, like, yep, opportunity's coming your way. But this talks about you not only starting this new passion project that you're working on, this new hobby, it could be a career, whatever it is, it's a thing that you're invested in, but it starts with you being attuned in with your emotions and asking yourself that question. That basically repeats this card's interactions. Again, another confirmation with that. I'm trying to think if there's something else I wanted to say about the Page of Wands. Oh, it's just, I will say this, the last thing I was going to say before I switch over to connecting to the other person. The Page of Wands does show up, though, when we're starting something new. So I think that's a huge reason why you're tuning into your emotions right now, because the thing you thought you wanted, it's maybe a little different or a little fine-tuned in the way you hadn't necessarily given it much thought, or maybe it's a totally new hobby. Whatever it is, it's newer than whatever you're dreaming now. So let's say you're like, no, I want to be, I don't know, a clown. I really want to be a clown. This is you checking in with yourself and going, actually, I'd really like to be a yoga instructor. Do you see what I'm saying? Kind of goofy analogy, but whatever it is, it's new. So let's get into this person and you and their energy. Oh no, this has the best of intentions, I'll tell you what. So there's a lot of focus being placed on like trying to be together. It's a lot of like reaching out, speaking up, getting your attention, but it's interesting. I can't tell if as there's this approach and this there's this clear declaration verbally of being like, I'm into you, or let's hang out, you know what I mean? Whoever it is that's speaking up for you, trying to get your attention, whatever that may be, I can't tell if they are coming at you with a lot of intensity, but maybe they're not thinking the best, you know, they don't have the best mental clarity, so maybe what they're saying isn't expressed in the best possible way. It kind of comes off silly and stupid. Or if you were in a state where you're like, you know what, I don't know if I'm thinking clearly. I don't know if I'm able to process what you're giving me. I'm getting more of the first thing I was suggesting, but that's why we got energy and then story. Oh, I think I was definitely right. Yep. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can get some happier cards up in here. Oh, yay. Okay, good. Okay. So it was exactly what I thought. So here's the thing. I have good stuff to say. It does seem like you guys are going to hang out, and I definitely think this is the person you're wishing for, especially when we have a Three of Wands situation. But let's start with what's going over here with the energies situation going on. So clearly they're interested, and they're like saying, hi, how are you? Let's be together. What's up? But they might not know how to, they put their foot in their mouth a lot is the best way I can put it. Because I'm getting the best of intentions, but it just doesn't seem to be working out too well when we have a Five of Wands situation. Five of Wands in reverse situation is when you're constantly butting heads. You don't mean to. This doesn't always have to be like a fighting type of thing. In fact, that's not the vibe I'm picking up at all. That's why I keep giggling. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like I'm embodying like a very old woman who's, I'm not an old woman, but I feel like I'm embodying an old woman who's looking at a couple of new kids, you know, just being like, oh, those young whippersnappers, oh, I can see the larger picture of life, la la la, you know, it's very sweet and wholesome. But it seems like they tend to not really back down the best from their points, and so you keep being like, oh, no, it's like you can't come to an agreement of your favorite comic book character or something like that. I'm just giving examples and stuff like that. The point is, this shows that it seems like they can't quite get to an end agreement or compromise. It doesn't seem terribly serious, but the misunderstanding can cause you to feel terribly frustrated and feel like maybe you guys aren't in alignment with each other. You're not meant to be. And it feels weird because you're not quite but it definitely isn't like a happy experience. It's uncomfortable. It's definitely a weird situation when you're going through this. So understandably, which is why we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. But I do want to point out both of these cards are in reverse. When we have Nine of Swords, this talks about when you're just feeling like, really anxious and overwhelmed. And that makes sense when you're dealing with this kind of energy that you can't quite process. But The Five of Wands is in reverse, so this does show that the situation that might have been hard to comprehend and kind of weird and off, and you're like, how are we getting in these arguments? It just doesn't make sense, is going to stop and end. But it will sometimes end with them deciding to walk away or you walking away because you understand it's not going to go anywhere. And then this is what causes this feeling. But when it's in reverse, this is when somebody is feeling overwhelmed unnecessarily, like they're putting too much into it, allowing it to consume them too much. I'm going to say this with a grain of salt because everyone's feelings are valid. I want to make that absolutely clear, but this is a positive sign. When it's upright, it's like you have something to worry about. But when it's reversed, it's like, oh, you have nothing to worry about. No worries. It doesn't mean that you aren't still suffering from this, but it's the comfort of knowing, like, don't worry, it's all going to be okay. It's just you're letting it take you too much, the situation, but it's not as serious as you think it is. Interesting. Before I get into this positive stuff, I want to point out this is kind of random, just some food for thought. Normally the cards are pretty consecutive together. The other message I'm being told is that the reason why they're kind of like this and the energy's weird between you guys is this could either be you or them. I'm getting told it's more them, but they are overwhelmed with too many responsibilities and starting to kind of get to them. So it's almost like I'm keeping told by Spirit they're very unaware of themselves and how things affect them and then how they come across. But instead of them being this like blundering, angry person, they're just kind of unaware that if they feel confused, they speak in a confusing manner. It's very mystical and fantasy based. We talked about fantasy, but it very much feels like that sort of vibe. So anyways, with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, it shows that, they had too much on their workload and this is when you start to kind of make little mistakes. Sometimes you full on start messing up everywhere, but sometimes it shows up in like our personal lives and we start forgetting things. And, obviously for the people like you that might be the brunt of that can be very serious if someone doesn't show up on time or you feel like they accidentally or felt like they ghosted you or something like that. It's all unintentional. So it's sort of like a comfort to know like everything's okay. They're just going through something in their personal work life. And when I say work, I mean it can depend on whatever you define as like what you're currently working on in the long term of your career, whatever that may be. But that's just something to consider and be aware of. Now over here, so this is our confirmation that like everything's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be a-okay, it's all gonna work out just fine, you'll be together, all's cool. This is just like a weird, awkward time period. But then we have Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands can act as a form of almost like a wish card, where it's like saying you're putting out into the universe, hey universe, this is the type of person I want, and the universe sends someone your way, and you decide, hey, do they fit the bill? Does it work? Did it match up to my wishes? And that is something to consider, because even though this can potentially be a successful relationship, it doesn't mean that they are the person you wished for. I do want to put that out there. Sometimes we can have wonderful relationships, but it's not exactly what we wanted. And so you should consider that sometimes the universe tests us, and in order for us to go, no, this isn't exactly what I wanted. And we know that you can receive it if you want it, and you put it out there, and you kind of filter out. So that's just something to consider, but they could potentially also be the person that you do want, and you know what I mean, that option's still there. You'll figure that out as you have this interaction with them. But anyways, this talks about how eventually you're going to kind of like figure out the communication between the two of you. It'll be solid. I'm being shown a lot of phone calls, more so than text messages, that will sort the situation out, and then everything will be peachy keen. Super cool. I'm very happy for you. I couldn't stop giggling because it's like they have a lot of good intentions, but my goodness, again, they just put their foot in their mouth a little too often, and it's a little overwhelming to experience from the other half, the side that you're on. So hold on, they're gonna work through it. It's gonna get better. Definitely consider the stuff they're going for, but most importantly of all, make sure to dream and get excited for these opportunities presenting themselves, whatever they may be. This person, maybe it's a hobby or a passion project. Whatever it is, I am very excited for you. This was a 10 out of 10 tarot reading of good stuff coming your way. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Have a lovely day. I will see you in the next one. Bye!